We are knocking on the door of 2026. As we prepare to ring in the new year, one economic fact remains frozen in time. The federal minimum wage is still sitting at $7.25 an hour. That marks 17 years without a raise. But as we enter 2026, that federal number is officially irrelevant. We are no longer one united economy. We are 50 separate economic experiments running at the same time. Starting January 1st, a cashier in Washington state will make over $17 an hour. In Mississippi, that same cashier stays at $7.25. Does that mean the Washington worker is rich? Or does the price of a gallon of milk in Seattle make them poorer than the worker in the South? Today, we are doing a full 50-state audit. We will start with a rapid-fire roll call of the wage in every single state. Then, we will do the grocery store math to see which states are a trap and which ones are the last affordable places to live. Because earning $16 an hour sounds great until you realize a Chipotle burrito costs $18. The 50-state roll call. Before we analyze the lifestyle, here is the raw data. This is the legal minimum wage landscape entering 2026. Find your state, starting with the federal floor at $7.25. This massive block includes Alabama, Georgia, Louisiana, Mississippi, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Wyoming. Moving to the stagnant block, we have Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, New Hampshire, North Carolina, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Texas, Utah, and Wisconsin. All of you are legally stuck at $7.25. Next, the slow climbers ranging from $8.75 to $12. This includes West Virginia, Montana, Arkansas, and Nevada. Then the mid-tier, aiming for a living wage between $12 and $15. This group includes Florida, Virginia, Delaware, Rhode Island, Maine, Vermont, Missouri, Arizona, Hawaii, and Illinois. Finally, the high wage club at $15 and above. This is California, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, Maryland, Oregon, and the national champion, Washington State, pushing towards $17. That is the list. Now, let's look at what those numbers actually buy you. Let's go straight to the places where the numbers stop making sense. These are the states offering $15, $16, or even $17 an hour. It sounds like a lot until you apply the Big Mac Index. In 2010, 1 hour of minimum wage bought you nearly 2 Big Mac meals. Today, in 2026, in these high-wage states, that same hour of labor buys you less than 1 meal. You are working harder, producing more, but eating less. Exhibit A, California. The baseline wage is $16.50. Fast food workers get $20. But let's do the gas station math. In California, the average price of gas hovers around $5.30 a gallon. If you are a minimum wage worker earning $16.50 after taxes, you are taking home about $13.50. That means you have to work 25 minutes just to buy 1 gallon of gas. To fill a standard 15-gallon tank, you are working nearly an entire 6-hour shift. You are trading a day of your life just to drive to work the next day. The verdict: the wage is high, but the survival cost is lethal. Exhibit B, Florida. Florida is raising its wage to $15 later in 2026. But here is the insurance math. Unlike the rest of the country, Florida residents pay an average of $3,500 a year for home insurance and nearly $4,000 for car insurance if they live near the coast. That is $7,500 a year in insurance premiums alone. To pay just that bill, before you buy a single loaf of bread or pay rent, you have to work 500 hours at your new $15 wage. That is 3 months of labor every year, going straight to insurance companies. The verdict: you aren't working for yourself, you are working for Geico and State Farm. Exhibit C, New York. The wage is $16.50. But let's look at the rent math. The average rent for a studio apartment is $3,000. To qualify for that apartment, landlords require you to earn 40 times the monthly rent. That is a salary of $120,000. If you make the minimum wage of $16.50, you earn roughly $34,000 a year. You are nearly $90,000 short. Mathematically, a minimum wage worker in New York cannot live indoors without 3 roommates or government assistance. The sweet spot where you can win. Before we look at the states where you can actually win, I have to ask, look at your own grocery bill this week. Do you think raising wages to $20 would fix the problem, or just make milk cost $10? Let me know your theory in the comments. Now, let's find the sweet spot. Hidden between the frozen wages of the South and the unaffordable rents of the coasts, there is a zone where the math still works. If you want to actually keep the money you earn in 2026, look at the Midwest. Take Missouri. The minimum wage is climbing past $13.75. The math: you earn about $2,200 a month after taxes. But unlike Florida or New York, you can still find a decent apartment in St. Louis or Kansas City for $900 a month. What does this buy? It buys you breathing room. You pay your rent, do a full Costco run for the family, and still have $500 left over to save or invest. Look at Michigan. Wages are over $10.50 and market rates are much higher. In Detroit or Grand Rapids, the cost of living is 16% lower than the national average. A factory worker here can actually afford to buy a starter home for $150,000. This isn't just old steel jobs anymore. Green energy and tech manufacturing are booming here. And finally, Ohio. With a wage index to inflation and rent averaging $900 in cities like Cleveland or Akron, Ohio offers the highest disposable income ratio for working-class families in the entire country. The verdict: if you are chasing a flashy lifestyle, go to Miami or LA. But if you are chasing stability, home ownership, and savings, the Midwest is the last stronghold of the American dream in 2026. The 2026 Playbook. The data is clear, but you are not helpless. Here is your strategy for 2026. Solution 1. The geo-arbitrage move. If you work remotely, stop paying coastal prices. Making $80,000 in Columbus, Ohio gives you a higher quality of life than making $120,000 in NYC. Stop chasing the highest salary. Chase the highest margin. Solution 2. The blue-collar pivot. Right now, there is a massive shortage of electricians and plumbers in the Midwest. These jobs are paying $50, sometimes $60 an hour, and they don't require student loan debt. In 2026, a master plumber in Texas is financially freer than a junior graphic designer in Los Angeles. Solution 3. House hacking. Interest rates remain high. The only way to cheat the system is house hacking. Buy a duplex. Live in one part, rent out the other. Let a tenant pay 60% of your mortgage. It's the only way to insulate yourself from housing inflation in 2026. The economy is changing. The old rules are broken. The new rule is go where you are treated best. In the next video, we will break down the basic cost of living for every state in 2026. Subscribe to State Analytics to follow along.